Alrighty, audio sync. Probably out, but we'll try our luck. So here we go, get it straight to this. I've got about 50 minutes at the most to try and sort this out. Well, something like 50 minutes. Beyond that, I have to go back to the other side of the house and hand out some insulin injections. Well, just one. One will do. So are we rolling? I think we're rolling. I think just everybody's lagging. Let's see. Surely I did go live. Yep, we did. Hey, Wade. And just... I think I just killed my stream window. Oh well. Audio sync's good. Yeah, Panhoff. Logan, Wade, Tonto B. I haven't seen you around before, Tonto B. Are you new? Welcome, if you are. Apologies if you are not. Yeah, so much trash on the back of that. Hey, Stephen Burridge, Nathan Hopkins. Hey, how's it going? Been a while. Alrighty. Alright, we got a 1398. And I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be a U8900 or not, but we do have intermittent power failures on the graphics. Hey, Miss Sarah. Deleted account. That's a new name. Busy with the kids. Well, yeah, I can completely understand that. I mean, obviously, I don't have any human spawn myself, but yeah, the firstborn certainly keeps me busy. I'm surprised anybody's here at the moment, given that everybody was probably tapped out for their fill of board repair today, with Lewis doing an extended 5 hour long stream, I think it was. Name change before we have... Oh, okay, cool. I'm really exceptionally bad when it comes to names and remembering anything, so don't take it personally if I seem like I don't recall when I should. That's just the way it goes. Hey, Stockholms. Still getting little no sleep. Yep, that's about it. Hassan from Morocco. There's a new destination. Alright, what are we looking at here? Yeah, this could actually be a U900 one. Certainly not 2015. Looks like it's been... someone's been here before. That battery connector is not how that should be. By the way, apologies for the light. As I've mentioned in a couple of other streams, I've lost my primary backlight fill. So I sort of tend to be working in the dark at the moment. It's dark even for me. Hey, Paul Howell. Go Tranquil. Okay, get this person's data out so we don't do anything bad. Is this a 1 terabyte? It's only a 256 gig. Nice big chunky one there. Alright. So yes, you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit rushed on this one. I just gotta try and get it done because I'm a little behind schedule. Things have been a bit crazy. That cable is all rippled up. Very different. There you can see the ripples in it. Not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, Kristen, it is interesting how you always get your regulars. I suppose that's half the fun of it though, you know. It's like, you know, when you join a stream, the chances are you're going to bump into some people that you already know. Another Irish user. Hey, ITM2, been a while. It took me 5 minutes for ITM to figure... Okay, so what, yours is the U8900? How'd you do that in 5 minutes though? Come on, that's pretty crazy fast. I mean, I'm not the fastest by any means. I ain't that slow. I'm gonna say this will take me 30 to 50 minutes. Hopefully we don't have any secondary issues in here. Hey, I'm Six Skills. Now, I wasn't thinking anybody would be around, and it seems like everybody's turned up. Mr. Sinister, no, I don't think I'll be doing regular at the moment. I'm just doing what I can quickly now. Happy to report that I think it was Friday last week or Monday this week, I can't remember exactly. I put the final payment down on my last credit card. Ah, Itchy Nose is back. So now finally I am without any credit cards on my name. It's been a very long process clearing that out. At one point I had 3 that I was dealing with, and around about $80,000 unsecured debt. And if you're thinking, what the hell was I doing with that sort of level of debt? It was just a case of business loans, because it was sole trading, sole proprietor, sole trading, whatever. And then I had a bit of a bad run health-wise, and that just ruined everything. So it was under control before the health event. The health event came along, and boom, I was out. Hey, Jeff P. George is here from Lebanon. See, 1465 does not see SSD and boots very slowly from external. Well, that probably be a sensor fault or something's going on. When you say it doesn't see the SSD, does it come up with a flashing folder, or does it come up with a striked out circle? Come on. Let's see, if that's a 1465, does your diagnostic test come up with anything? Lola Stomp. It's the first live stream I've actually made too. Oh, well, thank you. Welcome, Lola Stomp. Oh, thank goodness I managed to get those Wi-Fi connectors off without breaking one. I did just fix up the other one the other day. It's not a pretty fix. I'm thinking of doing it again. Okay, is this camera even kicking in tonight? It is. Hey, Norway, pal. Okay, easy, easy. Oops, not so easy. There we go. $2012, should have an ASD for that. Pernov will know what it is. Pernov is an exceptionally talented person for that sort of information. Well, if you don't already have one of those, you can always just do the diagnostics boot. Holding down the D key, I think it is. Or the Option D if you got the internet access. Man, it's taken me more than 5 minutes just to get this thing out. I've lost the bet already. By the way, who ticked off Lewis Rossman today? My goodness, it was like I pissed in his cornflakes or something this morning, because boy, he was paying out on me today. I was like, what the heck? I start the stream, try to be all nice and friendly, and he's just dishing it out on me. I'm gonna have to think of something to return the favour. I was thinking maybe I can send him a box of dingoes or something like that. Maybe put a drop bear above his new door. Jittery mouse. Yeah, that's pretty sensitive. What if I'm missing a damn screw here somewhere? Something's sticking this down. Yeah, got you. You're off. It's always fun when you can't find out why something is not coming out. It can be very tempting to get a little aggressive with it, which is always a very bad idea. There we go. It was just latched under the battery connector. This battery plate here. Okay. Revoke his license for Flexboard now. That would actually hurt me more than it hurts him, I reckon. Hey, Guzman. Did Lewis recover the data from the solid state drive? No, he didn't directly. He just managed to get it to boot eventually, which I suppose is in effect. Certainly, if it was me, I would have not bothered getting the machine up and running directly. I would have just gone, put that solid state drive into a USB adapter, cloned it, and then gone back to the machine and then tried to get it up and running. I think if you're handed the gift of recovering a solid state drive after it's been half burnt to death, then yeah, I think it's best to pay tribute by immediately cloning it. But you know, I mean, that's all a risk evaluation thing for everybody to make their own choice on. Crap, what board is this anyway? What are you? 3332? Oh. Put extra bug. Hey, Jacob Anderson. Oh, and Eric, hello. Some guy. Oh, yeah. I saw Lewis completely lose his head on that one. Anyway, I feel for the guy. He's obviously flat out doing his work. He just wants to get things done. And yeah, it can get pretty damn irritating when that sort of stuff comes up. People losing their heads over trivial matters or things that, yeah. So I mean, I completely get that. Anyway, this is U8900, so hopefully we'll be good to go with just fixing this. Yeah, you can see how crusty those connections are. I mean, look at this one on the right hand side. I get it, he's under a hell of a lot of stress. Oh man, these are almost as good as mine. Yeah, my soldering is not that great either. I'm thinking I'm going to have to change from my JSO2 tip to something else because quite frankly I just can't seem to get the heat down with the JSO2. Let's see, this is a... Yeah, so that's not going to work either. I don't know what tip this one was. This is just another Hakko. The nose is there's too much radius on the nose, so you can't really get that heat down. So I'll stick with the JSO2 and I'll just support it with some hot air. Yeah, ITM2, I mean, so I just keep looking every now and then for a new possible improvement. Try to make the work a little bit better each time. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, the stress has got to be tremendous. I mean, the guy is just doing everything he does. I'm impressed. I can barely do 2 machines a day sometimes. Alrighty, let's try and not suck up that resistor, because that's what we like to do normally. Yeah, we didn't get it that time, shame. And we'll do the bonus of course, tinning every single damn test pad around her. In shock horror, we are now using the board in a vertical orientation. That never happens. The 12IL, I haven't used that one. I was thinking of getting the KN tip. The only trouble I find, I'd imagine, with the K tips is they might not carry enough thermal mass. I think Lewis streaming a lot, part of that is also for his own sanity. When you stream, it sort of lets you socialise a little bit in a kind of weird way, and lets you sort of blow off some steam, or it just feels different. And just like I'm not getting this right today. That cap is stealing my heat. Might have to use some hot air to support me through this one. We're only going to do 250. It's enough to just boost up the general heat in the area. And all of a sudden the joins flow. David, no idea why you find watching me relaxing. I'm glad one of us is. Maybe I'm a little less hyperactive than some others. I gotta say, I'd love to be able to type the speed some people do. Today was witnessing some impressive typing speeds. Need some more supportive heat. I don't want to melt the plastic thing next to the barrier. And we're out of flux. Just didn't quite make it with enough flux there. It's the voice, the good old Australian voice. To be fair, I admit I do not have a what do you call it? I do not have a stereotypical Australian voice, as it were, or at least not the one people would anticipate. You know, a lot of people expect some sort of Australian ochre type voice, which is certainly not what I'm sounding like. Yeah, I know I'm going over this about 10 million times, but you really don't want to botch this too many times over. That's better. If you do pin by pin, yeah, I suppose so. I ain't got time for that. No, just kidding, yeah. Pin by pin could work. Okay, just making sure we don't get any shorts or skirts or pants. And I've just noticed the fume hood extractor is giving me a nice set of vibrations through there. Alrighty. Okay, the resistor is there. We haven't displaced it. Got a little smidge there or something. That's looking satisfactory. Alright. Okay, so that's U8900 sorted, but while we've got the board here, it doesn't hurt to take, you know, a minute or two to simply go over the board and have a look. Make sure there's nothing else that's progressing that will be detrimental. Because you know, if you send it back and it fails in, say, within 3 to 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 years, since I was the last person touching it, it will be inherently my fault. Because that is the way the industry works. He who touches it last has the joy of handling all future faults. As usual, plenty of junk and dust around here, but nothing problematic by the looks of it. Now we will test this simply by using a boot drive with something like Unigine Valley to test. I was very glad this is a 3332 and not something else, because if it's one of the more newer ones, then it's probably going to be something glorious like the VRMs, and nobody likes replacing the VRMs. Yeah, mostly just dust, and specks of dust. Sometimes you forget how big these boards are when you're trying to look over to catch everything. Alright, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Now I've got the drama of the fact that I've got flux all over there, and I really don't want to have to ultrasonic this. Hey Cormac, welcome. So it's someone needs to invent a dabbing application flux removal system where you can just do this kind of thing, but a little perhaps more elegantly. Oh man, the flux has gone cold. Let's heat it up a little. I don't want to add alcohol to it yet, because what will happen is it just smears it everywhere after that. I'm sorry, I just don't like to ultrasonic things unless I have to. It's not supposed to cause any damage to a board, ultrasonic it, but I don't know. Let's get in there. David, gross. Well, thank you very much for a new tip. That would be excellent. Yes, any preference yourself? The KN or something else? Hey, Gustavo, how's it going? Oh, Jesus. Lethal ones here. Hello, Anel. Do you ever sleep? Or are you like Chuck Norris and you just wait? Swift Rick 15. That's interesting. His name could be David. Is your name Caress or Cares? I guess it's all in the. I have no idea. All right. How do you pronounce it? Okay. Anyway, who let Anel in here? I thought Anel was banned. Do you have the same issue with the newer flux where... Oh yeah, Tranquil I do, yeah. It's a major pain. It burns off quicker and then it just... What is left turns to rock. And it's starting to tick me off actually. So I don't know what the deal was, but I kind of feel like I got the bad end of a deal somewhere. Made him mod, can't kick him out. Oh man. Oh, Dragon's here. Oh look. Just went from Lewis to you. Oh, was Lewis still going, or were you just catching up on his old one? Thank you anyway, David. I really appreciate that. And yes, that will go to a tip, because I have been thinking of getting another one. I've got a couple, you know, I've got them already set up with foam holders. Thank you, Cormac, for those. Ah, jeez, now I'm creating a splattering effect here. Jeez, I hope it was Cormac that sent them to me. Else I'm going to look like a complete idiot right now. It was you, wasn't it, Cormac? Lethal, stop upsetting my boss with a vertical board. You know, he's upsetting me with his lack of software updates. I actually don't even know how he's managing to do that, because I have never, other than some extreme boards, it never comes up that way for me. So I think he must be holding it wrong. Look, let me bring up some. You watch, it's going to fail for me. And then I'm going to be the laughing stock of the day. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see, what was he using today? Well, the 165 should always come up right, so that's okay. Hey Mansur, good to see you. It's been a week or so since I've seen you guys. Oh, you're from Queensland. Where are you from in Queensland, Swift? Let's see, 163... Yeah, Paul didn't... 163, which is 0426. Has anyone got a proper 0426, by the way? Because yeah, I mean, look at that. It comes up right for me. So I think Lewis is holding it wrong. Maybe he's holding his ball wrong or something. But yeah, who knows? Maybe if he upgrades to the latest version, things will be better for him. Let's see, board preferences. Oh wow, that found it too. Huh. Now with I'll show you the open board data thing that we've been working on. So what was that rail Lewis had fun with today? It was PPVTT or something? Yeah, there it is. VTT. There it is. Alright, so the open board data is not there. I think I need to update my open board data, do I? Setting board. Preferences. Yep, I don't seem to have that one running at the moment. I think I probably haven't updated. Let's see, 165, you got any data? Yeah, guess what? No, I'm running the wrong one. Oh well, doesn't matter. Point is, mine opens up in the correct orientation. Oh, if switch. If switch. Wait, I was a bit enthusiastic there when you said if switch, when really anyone who knows Ipswich knows not to get enthusiastic about Ipswich. First rule of Ipswich is to not be optimistic about Ipswich. Hey, Daniel Knight from Poland. Welcome. Just catching up on the chat. Yeah, I don't know if Lewis has a man crush on me or a man hate. I'm not sure which it is. Quite frankly, some days the guy scares me with how much he hates on me. It almost hurts my snowflake little points. I have to run off, consult with other people. I mean, I eat a lot of ice cream because of what Lewis says. Lewis lost sleep after with new girlfriend. Well, that's to be expected. I'm glad Lewis has Erica. She seems like a very nice person. And she looks after Oreo. I mean, what more can you ask for? Told you as a bromance with you. Yeah, I don't know about bromance. Bromance is a bit of a strong word there. I'm not sure we're ready for that level of commitment. I mean, he hasn't even paid me for my software. I mean, sure, he's produced a fantastic level of marketing for me and exposure. But isn't he the one that says exposure is no good? Friendly rivalry. Hey, Stray77. Yes. Hey, we fix TVs? I'm guessing you fix TVs. Alright, that's actually looking pretty good now. I'm happy with that. You'll always hurt the ones you love. That's so true. I'll have to confront him with that. I'll have to sit him down. I'll start out by saying, I'll send him a message on chat or something. I'll say, Lewis, we need to talk. Let's see how he reacts to that. That's always the first test. That we need to talk thing. Yeah, if you know things, if you've been in a relationship, you know that's a dreaded statement to have. We need to talk. Because it could mean, well, I don't think anything ever good comes out. Whoops, comes out of that. See, I'm shaking from it. I just had to clean the crap out of those fans. They're pretty damn dirty. Okay. How are we going for time? 41. I've got 15 minutes. Alright. Might have a chance of getting this done. Yeah, it's either I want to get married or I want to break up or you're going to be a father or a parent. I guess normally it's traditional to say father because, well, usually it's her coming to you saying, yeah, she's obviously the one aware that you're going to become the father. Terrifying words. Terrifying. Nightmares are made of that stuff sometimes. That's not being sexist or anything, it's just, yeah, sometimes you're just not expecting that sort of thing to hit you. Alright, that's the dust out of there. Oh, J-Car Flex. Yuck. It does the job, I suppose. It's actually quite surprising how much of a difference flux makes, and then once you get started using it, you wonder what on earth was I doing without it for all these years. Now, to be fair, if you're just sort of assembling pin-through kits and stuff like that, or that sort of stuff, you can get away with not using a lot of flux. If you want flux, you just use the solder and hit it on the iron tip a bit more, and that's where you get your extra flux. But for this sort of work, if you don't have your flux, you're pretty much doomed. And if you frequent any of the... Sorry, I'm just trying to get my alignment right here. If you frequent any of the discussion groups where they show pictures of disasters from soldering and things like that, you certainly get to see a lot of no flux jobs popping up. Why do you have to be so difficult to me every time? Ah, thank you. Just had to yell at it and then it complied. Whenever I say the word comply, I always think of the scene in Equilibrium when the thought police or whatever bust into Christian Bale's house. They go, comply, comply. Anyway, flashbacks. Oh, me, I'm not a father, no. Good God. I mean, I'm a fair father. Does that count? But I have absolutely no intention whatsoever of being a father, and I'm getting pretty close to the point where that's a permanent situation. Okay, this is not sitting down quite right. Something is withholding. Well, that felt better. Yep. Still haven't figured out if the pins on the port are supposed to go... Oh, they go under. Yeah, they go under. Don't feel bad. I was the same until probably just a couple of months ago. But yeah, the little metal... You're talking about the metal tangs, aren't you? Where is it? You're talking about these tang things. Yeah, they go underneath the chassis. Someone's going to now say, no, they go above the chassis. Thing is, there's a fair few situations where it doesn't make any sense at all when you try to fit them. So, underneath is what my standard is now. Well, obviously Lewis is going to promote the excessive consumption of flux. It's in his best interests, profitability-wise. It doesn't help that with those things you can squeeze the board in even with them over the top, but yeah, it's not a good idea. And then some of them I thought were top runners and others were bottom runners. Like you get the plastic capped ones versus the metal ones, and I thought that was a differentiator for it, but no, it's not. Man, I miss having this light. Really got to get the light. It is quite bad. Probably need to pick up around about 80 to 100 watts of LED to get the proper sort of lighting I need. I'll probably get away with 60 watts worth, but I find a lot of the time the problem is when it comes to doing streams, you really need so much more light than what you'd expect. And it makes a big difference. I mean, you don't notice it until you actually do pick up to the higher light levels. And then you look back and you go, whoa, yeah, I really needed that a long time ago. Hey Ed, 2677. Oh, Sonia's here. When did you slip in here, Sonia? Thought you'd be asleep. Let's get this thing back together. We've got 13 minutes. We have to go up and deliver the injection of the night. Getting better at doing the injections. Can pretty much do hit and runs now. Sort of micro understands it has to be done, and I'm not so jittery about it, so it's a bit of a like, hello, yeah, good, thanks, jab. Yeah, okay, no, actually, it's not really like that. You can't just walk up and jab them like that. You got to, find a bit of skin that's going to suit, pick it up, then do the injection. Don't do it too aggressively. Yeah, it's all got to be timed just right. But if it's all done right and the needle's actually sharp, then everybody's happy at the end. Bit of a problem with the needle's not so sharp, and you've kind of got to push your way in. Once in my youth, I thought I'd get away with pig fat as flux. Oh my. Seriously? That's kind of crazy. I suppose it looks similar. Oh, there could be worse things. Why have I got to screw me? Oh no, I don't. The other reason I really want to get this done is because I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning now, thanks to Milo. So when you go to bed, when you wake up at 4:30, you kind of need to go to bed fairly early too. Let's see, are you guys my little friends? I think you are. Oh good, I was about to ask that, Sonia, how your dog was going. It's good to hear. It's always very stressful when your fur kids are not well. Now, I'm only speculating, but I'd always consider that it's more stressful trying to deal with fur kids that are unwell as opposed to human kids. Because at least with human kids, we're assuming they're over the age of 4 or 5, they can communicate with you and you can communicate with them and say, this is what's going to happen or whatever. But I guess it also depends on what illness you're dealing with. But I think it's always that incapacity to explicitly communicate with your fur kid as to what's going on that makes it just that bit harder. She's like, it's alright, we're trying to make you better here. Just, we're not trying to hurt you or anything, just trying to make you better. That said, 5-year-olds probably will scream their heads off anyway, no matter what you tell them. I know I did. I think I was about 5, maybe 6, and I was in my neighbour's yard, just helping out, and a slightly older neighbour, I think he was about 2 years older than me, he was digging out a tree stump with a pickaxe, and I was stupid enough to get behind him. And anyway, he swung the pickaxe back while I was behind him. The next thing, boom, to the back of my head, I got myself a pickaxe. Naturally, I freaked out, screamed, ran, bled everywhere, freaked my parents out, screamed, ran everywhere, they ran. Somehow I get to the hospital, and I'm still screaming and ranting, and I remember quite a few people holding me down, or trying to hold me down. It's a little bit terrifying how strong kids can be when they're terrified. Alrighty. Yeah, that was a drama story you guys didn't want to hear. Human kids will complain about how much you're trying to help you. There we go. Raised 3 kids on my own, 13, 12, and 9. Oof. Yeah, more than me. No. Hey Service PC Specialist, how's it going? I give full credit to people who can raise human children. It's just not something I've ever been able to at all feel comfortable with. I understand that for a lot of people it's not really an option, it's something that's thrust upon them rather than something they willingly choose. What am I looking for? Let's see. Get myself a... What have we got for time? 52, 8 minutes left. Okay. Get my MagSafe. Option. Stray, fortunately I was lucky, I just sort of glanced off the underside of the skull, so it didn't actually penetrate the skull. Why am I not getting any... Getting anything here? Oh, there we go, that was very slow, actually almost made me panic, thinking I'd done something. Yeah, keyboard marks on the screen, I hate that. I don't know why, that's really annoying when that happens. I don't know why they couldn't just add just like another 0.5 millimeter. That's all they needed, another 0.5 millimeter. Yeah, you'd think I would have learned my lesson about head wounds, but I didn't. And then about 2 years later I was playing cops and robbers in the schoolyard. This was up in Kakadu National Park, up in Jabiru, uranium mine of all places in northern Australia. And back then a playground essentially consisted of a few logs and a few leftover pipes that the mining company didn't use or whatever. And the pipes were typically around about 3 foot, I think, 3 foot diameter, solid concrete. Anyway, so, kids, you run through the pipes and all this sort of stuff. Well, I didn't duck enough, and I clipped the lip of the pipe on the way in, and just sort of like scalped myself. That was fun. I don't think the teachers were able to, there wasn't enough tea in the world for them at that time. Yeah, where are we going here? What? Whatever. Hey, DefPom, thank you very much the other day for the whole suggestion about the MV RAM. I spoke to Lewis about that as well, and he was even shocked to hear about how that happened. And it does sort of make us wonder if there's some sort of serialization with the screens going on. This is later. Remind me. Yeah, don't remind me. I don't want to know about it. I've already dealt with it a million times. Youngest was running through the house, tripped, split her open, and scared. Oh yeah, James, exactly. Yeah, that's the stuff. Ed, this is a classic U8900 by the looks of it. Essentially, it would more and more not run properly when you run the graphics. It would crash, things like that. Shattered my sinus as a child sliding on the kitchen floor, head first in a chair. Oh. Yeah. Is it any wonder that we're still alive? That's really the fun thing. Now, why don't I have sound? That's the only thing I'm a little perturbed by. Do I have... Oh, I'm just deaf. There's sound. So we've got 80 on the CPU, 20 frames per second. I'm pretty happy with that. Naturally no one can see it. Yeah, that'll do. Notice when installing older Mac OSs now I have to set the time back before the current install date. Yes, that is correct, because the certificate for it is expired like about 2 weeks ago, I think it was now. So yeah, you're going to have to keep doing that. I do believe there are updates out now that you don't have to do that, but I'm not sure. Pernov might know. Well, we're fixed. This is... going flat out. I can feel the heat really coming off it. I will let this run for a couple of hours, maybe overnight, just to be sure. I'm going to let the Open Broadcaster keep recording it, so that if anything happens while I'm not here, I'll capture it on video. So with that, it is now time. Yet 3 minutes to go, or 2 minutes really. So switch back over. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. So that's it, we're fixed. That was another U8900 classic, and the sound is nice and loud now. There we go. Which of course is manifesting as intermittent dropouts, failures, crashes on this particular model. This is the 820332 motherboard. If you are having that problem with things like the 49, no, not the 4924, but the more later ones, then it's probably the VRMs, which is not really much fun to do. But if you do have a 3332 and it's doing that, then it's a U8900 in most cases. So, alright, well, I better get scooting. Got to go do the insulin injections. But thank you very much for dropping in. It was great to actually see everybody, so many people, so quickly. And hopefully I can get some more streams in the near future, so long as Lewis doesn't hog all my time space. Otherwise, I'll be on chat, giving bantering to Lewis. You all take care until then. I'll see you later.